to revel in what happened last night. My Super Bowl choice. To get there, to win it all, they're here. Bengals knocking off the Bills. I don't know what kind of rivalry this is, 24-18. I'll dig deeper into the game for a moment, but just for a second. Let's soak it in, Bengals fans. With this win, Cincy moves into a playoff spot. As I said Friday, that knocks the Buffalo Bills to the outside looking in. Exactly 1 month ago, this team was 1-3. They're concerned about Joe's health. I can't do it all. It's over for them. They've already responded, saying, shut up! 4 straight wins. Read it and weep. They've moved all the way back into a playoff spot already. And, could they be playing any better right now? Could they take Chase away? No problem. I got to start with what we're seeing out of Joe Burrow. He moves to 5-1 against Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen in his career, and he's playing the best he's ever played. I invited his parents to be on the show this week. I want to talk to his parents. I want to talk to Robin. I want to talk to Jimmy. We have things to talk about this absolute force out there doing it. What we saw last night was incredible. Sean McDermott basically said, you're going to have to, very Belichick, you're going to beat us without number 1, without Jamar Chase. Joe didn't blink. He threw for 348, 307 of those to people not named Jamar. He didn't even target him once on the first drive. He threw 2 touchdowns, both to tight ends. T. Higgins, sensational. T. Higgins playing for a lot for his team, for a lot more in his future, of course. He steps it up with $110 of those yards. And Joe was just I'm like, what is this Buffalo defense? He's just picking them apart. Take a look at what he's done now, not just against Buffalo. So I'm not just beating up on the pinata of this Buffalo this morning. No, he's done the last 2 games against 2 of the scariest defenses in the league. He's thrown for 300 yards per game, completed nearly 80% of his passes, and he's got a sterling, near-perfect passer rating. It would be impressive against anybody, but who does that against these defenses? Nobody. This is truly special, and we got to give it to my favorite coach in the National Football League. I said it the day the season started, Coach Lou. By the way, Bengals fans not happy with me. Coach Lou's out the door. Enjoy Coach Lou while you have him. He's Toodles. He is Toodles the second they win that Super Bowl because he's going to be a head coach. This defense did their thing as well. We're going to talk about that a little bit more throughout the week, of course. But let's shout out Bengals fans. They continue to embrace primetime better than any other fan base. They raise their game under the bright lights as well. They're not competing against 31 other teams. They're competing against themselves out there. I know some of these people, they're so dedicated. They're very inventive. They push the limit. They want the best experience for the fans. What more could you ask for from somebody who's calling the shots as far as what a game looks like at Paycor or any stadium? Take notes, everybody. The Stripe the Jungle looked so freaking cool. It looked awesome. Everyone was loud. The team was loose. What did Rodney Harrison say? Borderline cocky? Okay, Rodney, cool. How'd that work out? The atmosphere looked 10 out of 10. I don't know how I missed this game. I don't know how I wasn't there. Maybe I'm waiting for the playoffs. But we'll dig into more on the Bengals side of things, more on the defense, more on Cameron Taylor-Britt, all of that. We'll have Taylor Lewan here in a minute. But I do want to touch on some things here right now. They played a solid game last night, but they're 2-3 in their last 5. And I think who am I talking about right now? I think I'm talking about the Bills? The Bills. Okay, I mentioned this earlier, that they sort of get knocked out of that playoff bracket, right? They're out of the AFC playoff picture. But I do want to see, and I'll ask Taylor Lewan about this, can Josh Allen turn things around? When you, like Coach Lou did, do exactly what McDermott did, takes away your best weapon, that is Stephon Diggs, who's the number 2? Who can you get the ball to? Can you adjust? Burrow adjusted. Is it because he's got a better skill set at wide receiver, or is it something else? We're going to dig into all of that. Your thoughts at Up and Adams Show. Talking about guys playing right now, Joe Burrow would be in the mix for best hair. So let's go flip it to him and these Bengals, who absolutely crushed it against the Bills. They've now won 4 straight. They beat the Seahawks, the Niners, Buffalo, all in a row. What did you make? What was the most impressive part of what I think is maybe Joe's best performance, the defense's best performance? I don't know what's going to stop him, buddy.
Yeah, to me, it really goes back to ignoring the noise. I heard before your break you talking about Miami. They don't play anybody till December. They're going to have all those questions with the Bengals. They're abysmal the first 3 weeks of the season, and you did a phenomenal job of pointing out he's injured. Maybe we take a break going into the bye week. They obviously didn't do that, but he seems healthy. And those guys are just firing on all cylinders right now. The Bengals are a team that they're getting hot at the right time. They're like the Eagles in the way that they don't get too high with the highs and too lows with the lows. They just kind of keep it consistent, and that
Yeah.
is the key to being successful. We're going to see them make a deep playoff run again, I think.
I thought it was crazy that McDermott's like, bye Chase, we're gonna take, which is fine, take care of Chase, and then he just still operates like he didn't miss a beat. It didn't matter at all. Josh Allen, can't find Stephon Diggs on the field, and he's a little lost out there.
It does. It seems wild, and the game is a lot closer than I think everybody thought. When I was watching the game, it's like you have 2 turnovers. Josh Allen has a pick, but then they have a fumble. The tight end gets absolutely flipped, and they have a fumble in the red zone, which turns into the Bengals getting 3. That's a 6-point swing right there. I mean, they get the Bills get the 2-point conversion. That game really could have gone the Bills' way if it wasn't for they say this in football all the time. It's 4 and 5 plays in a game that's going to win you the game, and the Bengals just happen to win it. The Bills are not dead. They're alive and well to do. I know they're third in their division right now, but they're going to be just fine.
Well, what is that? Why should I believe that? They've been very inconsistent.
Right.
It's injuries galore, concerning losses, impressive wins. Like, what makes you think they have it this year?
The biggest level of concern for them is the injuries. You lose Matt Milano, olive oil Italian boy in the middle, all pro guy, killing it. You got a couple guys, Achilles injuries and knees injuries. For me, it's always like we're running into this new generation of quarterbacks now with obviously Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and it's just the quarterback for the Bills. You cannot sit there and say they don't have a chance every single game. He's a stud. And he has some takeaways. His ball security is terrible when he's outside the pocket. He's running. He's got those big meaty hands. And so Josh Allen, dude, people get mad at him for some mistakes that happen, but it's also the same reason why you love him is he's playing that backyard football. He's able to extend plays and hurt you in a hurry. And so I don't think we've had Josh on the podcast and the way he talks, the way he handles himself, I don't see him wavering in these types of situations. So I'm excited to see where the Bills go. And okay, we cannot get in a fight with Bills Mafia. I did that one time. I got in a Twitter war with their backup D end. Yeah, I got a Twitter war with their backup D end. And Bills Mafia was murdering me left and right. Like, this guy didn't even play. Okay. And they were murdering me.
So
it was tough.
riddle me this. Who you taking, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen?
I mean, that's a tough question. Those are both my boys. I know Josh better.
So you're going to start a football team?
No.
Who you got?
Recency bias. Recency bias. You got to go Joe Burrow right now. He won that game. He was dicing them up and down the field. He did a phenomenal job, and they're catching stride at the right time. You got to take Joe. Yeah.
I mean, Josh is their he's their RB out there. Every time I look up, he's just taking off. And I'm like, no.
Some of the plays he had, too, is like 3rd and 3. Stiff-arming guy throwing him over his shoulder and still getting 7-8 yards. It is, dude, that's cool. Like, you don't, like, a lot of times people are like, oh, quarterback, slide. Well, Josh is like, brother, you do your thing. Keep hurdling dudes. Keep doing your thing. Because, like, that's the excitement that Bills Mafia needs.
You guys can hit us up at Up and Adam Show. I'm looking at some of these. Everyone's saying you have to consider coaching, which is true. You have to consider surrounding pieces and all of that. So that's interesting.